If you are over 50 and you feel like your hair has lost its life, its thickness, and its youthful radiance, you are not alone. And what I am about to share with you today is something the multi-billion-dollar beauty industry has been hoping you never find out. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, your entire approach to hair care is going to change. I am talking about an ancient oil, one that has been used for centuries by Indigenous women deep in the rainforests of Honduras. Women who, despite no access to the serums, the treatments, the fancy salon products we have been sold our whole lives, have some of the most thick, lustrous, deeply nourished hair you have ever seen in your life. And the beauty industry knows about it. They have known. But there is no money in telling you that a single natural oil can do what hundreds of dollars of products promise to do. So today, we are blowing the lid off. I am going to tell you exactly what this oil is, what the science says about why it works, and how you can start using it this week. Make sure you subscribe before we go any further. Hit that button and the bell so you never miss a video. Because on this channel, we talk about the things nobody else is saying. Real solutions for real women. Let's go. First, let's talk about what is actually happening to your hair after 50. Because before you can fix something, you need to understand it. As time passes, our hair naturally loses its moisture. It becomes dull, brittle, and flat. Strands that used to bounce back now break. Your edges may be thinning. Your part looks wider than it used to. You may be finding more hair in your brush, more strands on your pillow, more evidence in the shower drain that something has shifted. This is not your imagination. This is biology, and it has a very specific cause. For most of your adult life, estrogen was quietly working behind the scenes to protect your hair. Estrogen is a guardian hormone. It keeps your hair in the growth phase longer, signals your follicles to stay active, and helps your scalp retain moisture and produce collagen. When estrogen is present and balanced, your hair has what it needs to thrive. Then perimenopause begins, and then menopause. And estrogen levels start to fall, in some women quickly, in others gradually, but in all of us significantly. By post-menopause, estrogen is at its lowest levels since before puberty. When estrogen falls, something else rises. Androgens, hormones like testosterone and its more potent derivative DHT, become more dominant by comparison. And DHT is not your hair's friend. DHT binds to receptors in your hair follicles and begins to miniaturize them. The follicle shrinks. The hair it produces becomes finer, shorter, and weaker with every single growth cycle. Over time, some follicles stop producing hair altogether. This process is called androgenetic alopecia, female pattern hair loss. And after menopause, it affects up to 50% of women. Now, here is where I need you to pay close attention, because this part is almost never talked about in mainstream beauty media. For women with melanin-rich skin and hair, Black women, brown women, women of color, this experience can be more pronounced. Research suggests that melanin-rich hair follicles may carry a higher density of androgen receptors, making them more sensitive to DHT. On top of that, many of us carry decades of styling history, tight braids, chemical relaxers, heat tools, heavy extensions that have placed cumulative stress on our follicles long before menopause ever arrived. So when the hormonal shift hits, the follicle is already carrying a load. It is already tired, and the thinning can feel sudden and devastating. The beauty industry's answer to this? Buy this shampoo. Try this serum. Use this DHT blocker. Spend hundreds of dollars on treatments that address the symptom, but never the source. Keep buying, keep spending, keep coming back. What they are not telling you, and this is the secret I promised you at the beginning of this video, is that one of the most powerful solutions for post-menopausal hair loss already exists in nature. It has existed for centuries, and it costs a fraction of what those products charge. It is called Batana oil. Batana oil is extracted from the nut of the American palm tree, Elaeis oleifera, and it has been a sacred part of the mosquito people's traditions in Honduras for generations. The mosquito women are known throughout the region for the extraordinary health, thickness, and shine of their hair. Researchers and naturalists who traveled to study their communities came back with the same question. What are they using? The answer was Batana oil. Now let's get into the science, because this is not folk wisdom alone. There are real, documented reasons why this oil does what it does. Batana oil is extraordinarily rich in tocopherols, that is the vitamin E family. Vitamin E is one of the most potent antioxidants known to science. In the context of your scalp, antioxidants do something critical. They neutralize free radical damage. Free radicals are unstable molecules that damage cells, including the cells in your hair follicles. After menopause, when your body's natural antioxidant defense systems are working with less hormonal support, free radical damage in the scalp increases. Vitamin E steps in and stops that damage at the source. Batana oil is also packed with oleic acid and linoleic acid, two essential fatty acids that play very different but equally important roles. Oleic acid penetrates the hair shaft deeply, restoring internal moisture and making each strand more flexible and resilient. Linoleic acid works on the scalp surface, reinforcing the skin barrier and locking in hydration. Together, they address both the scalp and the strand simultaneously. And then there is the overall anti-inflammatory profile of Batana oil. Chronic low-grade inflammation in the scalp is one of the most underdiagnosed contributors to hair loss after 50. It disrupts the hair growth cycle, starves the follicle of nutrients, and creates an environment where DHT damage accelerates. Batana oil's antioxidant and fatty acid profile actively counteracts this inflammation, calming the scalp environment and making it more hospitable for growth. For melanin-rich hair specifically, Batana oil does something else that is almost impossible to replicate synthetically. It enhances the natural depth and luminosity of your hair color. That rich, dimensional quality, the way natural black and brown hair catches the light, Batana oil feeds it. It does not coat the hair, it feeds it from within. Now I want to walk you through exactly how to use it, because application matters. For your scalp treatment, take a small amount of Batana oil, a little goes a long way, and warm it between your palms until it liquefies slightly. Apply it directly to your scalp in sections, and use the pads of your fingers to massage it in using slow, firm, circular motions. Do this for at least 4 minutes. I know 4 minutes sounds simple, but a 2016 clinical study published in the journal Epilepsy found that standardized scalp massage performed for just 4 minutes daily over 24 weeks produced measurable increases in hair thickness. 4 minutes, every day. The massage itself increases blood flow to the follicle bed, which means more nutrients being delivered to the roots that need them most. When you combine that circulation boost with the nutrient density of Batana oil, you are creating the ideal environment for hair growth. For the hair shaft, apply Batana oil from mid-length to ends. Use it as a pre-wash treatment before you shampoo, or use a small amount on damp hair after washing to seal in moisture. The result is softer, more manageable hair with a natural shine that no synthetic serum can replicate. Here is a tip that will take your results even further. Combine your Batana oil with rosemary essential oil. Add 5 to 6 drops of rosemary oil per tablespoon of Batana oil before applying to your scalp. Why rosemary? A landmark 2015 study published in SkinMed Journal compared rosemary oil directly to 2% minoxidil, the active ingredient in Rogaine, one of the most clinically recognized hair loss treatments available. The results showed comparable hair count increases after 6 months of consistent use. Comparable to a pharmaceutical treatment from a plant. Batana and rosemary together create a synergistic scalp treatment that stimulates blood flow, feeds the follicle, and protects the scalp environment all at once. This is your new Sunday ritual. Now let's talk about what you need to do on the inside. Because topical care alone will only take you so far. Your hair is one of the last places your body sends nutrients. When your system is under stress or running deficient, your heart, your brain, and your vital organs get priority. Hair, skin, and nails get what is left. This is why nutritional deficiencies are one of the most overlooked drivers of post-menopausal hair loss. Let's go through the most important ones. Vitamin D. Research has confirmed the presence of vitamin D receptors inside hair follicles, meaning your follicles literally need vitamin D to function. Deficiency has been directly associated with alopecia. Now, here is the critical piece for our community. Melanin-rich skin is beautifully protective against UV radiation. It is one of the great gifts of our biology. But that same melanin reduces the skin's ability to synthesize vitamin D from sunlight. Studies show that people with darker skin tones require significantly more sun exposure to produce the same amount of vitamin D as people with lighter skin. The result is that vitamin D deficiency is disproportionately common among Black and brown women, and most of us do not know it because we feel fine. Hair loss is often one of the first signs the body gives us. Get your vitamin D levels tested. If you are deficient, work with your doctor to supplement appropriately. This single intervention has changed hair growth outcomes for countless women. Iron, specifically ferritin, the stored form of iron. Even non-anemic low ferritin, meaning your hemoglobin looks normal on a standard blood test, has been directly linked to hair loss in women. Many women emerge from their menstruating years with depleted iron stores and never replenish them. Ask your doctor for a full iron panel that includes ferritin. Do not let them tell you your iron is fine based on hemoglobin alone. Biotin supports the keratin infrastructure your hair strand is made of. Zinc supports follicle cell reproduction and protein synthesis. Omega-3 fatty acids, found in salmon, sardines, walnuts, chia seeds, and flaxseed, reduce scalp inflammation and nourish follicles from the inside out. And protein itself deserves emphasis. Your hair is made of keratin, which is a protein. If your daily protein intake is consistently low, your body will reduce hair production to redirect resources elsewhere. Prioritize protein at every meal. Let's also talk about the daily habits that either protect or sabotage everything else you are doing. Styling. If your hair is thinning, this is the moment to give your follicles a break from tension. Tight braids, high ponytails, heavy extensions that pull at the edges. These accelerate traction alopecia at the exact moment your follicles are most vulnerable. This is not about giving up protective styles. It is about wearing them gently, low manipulation, loose, and giving your scalp regular breaks to breathe between styles. Heat. After menopause, your hair is finer and more fragile than it used to be. Temperatures it once handled can now cause breakage that looks like, and worsens, thinning. Use a thermal protectant every single time. Lower your heat settings, and seal your ends with Batana oil every time you style to protect what you have worked to restore. Sleep. Your body regenerates at night, including your follicles. Sleep on a satin or silk pillowcase to eliminate the friction that causes breakage and scalp irritation. Use a satin bonnet if you wear your hair loose. These are small investments with a compounding return. Stress. This one is non-negotiable. Chronic elevated cortisol, your body's stress hormone, directly disrupts the hair growth cycle, pushing follicles prematurely into the shedding phase. This condition is called telogen effluvium, and it can cause sudden, alarming hair loss in the weeks and months following a period of intense stress. Whatever helps you regulate, walking, prayer, journaling, community, creative expression, that is part of your hair care routine now. Protect it accordingly. Here is what I want you to take away from everything we have covered today. Your hair loss after 50 is not random. It is not inevitable. It is not something you simply have to accept as the price of aging. It is a response to hormonal shifts, to nutritional gaps, to decades of styling stress, to an inflammatory scalp environment, and every single one of those things can be addressed intentionally. Batana oil is not a miracle. It is something better than a miracle. It is a tool that works, one backed by centuries of real-world use, and an increasingly robust body of scientific research. When you pair it with the right internal support, when you change the daily habits that are working against you, and when you give your scalp the consistent attention it deserves, the results are real. Women in our community are regrowing edges they thought were gone forever. They are restoring thickness they assumed was just part of getting older. They are looking in the mirror and seeing themselves again. That is available to you? The Batana oil I use and recommend is linked in the description below. I want you to have access to the highest quality version of this oil, pure, unrefined, ethically sourced, because quality matters when it comes to what you put on your scalp. The link is also in my bio if you are watching from your phone. If this video gave you something today, a new perspective, a piece of information you needed, a little hope, please give it a thumbs up and share it with a woman in your life who needs to hear this. Every share puts this information in front of someone who might have been suffering in silence. And if you are not subscribed yet, please do that right now. Hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. Every week on this channel, we go deep on natural hair care, holistic wellness, and real solutions for women over 50 who refuse to just accept what the world tells them to expect. You deserve information that actually serves you. You deserve to walk into every room with your crown fully intact. Thank you for being here. I will see you in the next one.